when he departs from the world. Everybody gets one life to live. Those who contribute to the betterment of life of other human beings and make an impact, their life becomes meaningful. In my own way, I try to contribute towards making people good human beings and the world a good place to live in. I know my contribution is not even worth a drop in the ocean of human civilization. While understanding the world, I have been greatly inspired by individuals of my time and also of those in past who set the development of the civilizations in the right track. I also think and remember about the individuals and people in the march of civilization in future. My experience as public servant has been both satisfactory and disappointing. I see marked downfall in all institutions of democracy, legislature, executive and judiciary. I also see erosion in values of common people. This may be largely out of frustration because they are unable to get justice from any of these institutions. Even the fourth institution, the press and media, is failing in its objectives. Actually, some of the persons who run these institutions are not fit to occupy positions they hold. Some black sheep have crept into all these such institutions. A good driver is more important than a good vehicle. I also visualize that people with good intention of all these pillars of democracy must be facing the onslaught of wrong persons in their own respective institutions. Gradually, good persons in all institutions will become silent spectators. It is less important to see executive versus legislatures versus judiciary versus press scenario. Now the time has come when good people should fight the institutions from the inside. In this endeavor, the good people of these institutions should join hands and the good people of other institutions should lend them helping hands. Let good people from all institutions rise above the bias of their institutions. These institutions were created to make lives better for common people, to achieve happiness, prosperity, and fulfill their goals. There is a saying that the people, particularly in democracy, get the government they deserve. I would like to add that the government gets the bureaucracy it deserves. I would make an endeavor to pair my experiences as a bureaucrat and also as a social scientist. The idea of pairing my experiences in life was largely influenced by very large number of biographies and autobiographies of people from different walks of life throughout the world. My close friends also insisted me to write this autobiography. I want to share my experience and thoughts with people from different walks of life who might find something common in their life as well. I want to share my journey of life and experiences in bureaucracy and governance with people across the spectrum. My autobiography will be unique in one sense and the representative expression of large number of people from different backgrounds in another sense. An attempt at this passionate deliberations on various issues may help many persons in formulating their opinion and also to understand the meaning of life and its journey. I would be always grateful to Shri Narendra Kumar who encouraged me to pen down the experiences of my life in this book. As we have earlier heard Mr. Sirajul Qureshi, he quoted, "The powerful people in every sphere think that they have a right to be unreasonable." Unfortunately, people who have authority, they never appreciate the reasoning from other side. Power makes authority hypocrite, and absolute power makes them absolute hypocrite. In general, most of the Bihar chief ministers did not trust Bihari IAS and IPS officers belonging to castes other than the caste of the chief minister. In democracy, people get the government they deserve and the government gets the bureaucracy it deserves. The polity of India, politico-bureaucratic culture of governance is largely guided by 3 C's: casteism, communalism and corruption. My experience as a public servant has been both satisfactory and disappointing. Now I want to welcome the order of Supreme Court, Honorable Supreme Court, delivered yesterday, which is very pertinent. I think in a case related to an IAS officer of 1979 batch of UP cadre, the bench, Supreme Court bench, Honorable Supreme Court bench, reproached the two governments, that means government of Uttar Pradesh and the government of India, for stalling the promotion of 1979 batch IAS officer. And she dared to point out certain aspects of maladministration in the government of India. That means IAS officer is not supposed to be daring to help the country. He dared to question the maladministration in government of India. It also held that bureaucrats cannot become members of an inferior class and therefore had the right to air personal and public grievances guaranteed by the constitution before the judiciary. Very important point is, unfortunately, large number of people in India are not aware that civil servant conduct rules prohibits any officer to share his ideas, particularly if it has any adverse comment on any government system. So imagine, everybody has fundamental right of expression, but the civil servants, unfortunately, have no right of expression. Their fundamental right has been taken away. So what he becomes? He has become an inferior citizen of India. Imagine. Before the judiciary, we are at the loss to comprehend how the filing of the writ petition containing allegation that the government of India is lax in discharging its constitutional obligations of establishing the rule of law can be said to amount to either failure to maintain absolute integrity and devotion to duty, or of indulging in conduct unbecoming of a member of the service. So this is the ruling of the Honorable Supreme Court. But so long the provision is there prohibiting the civil servant to interact or express their feelings or their opinion on any issue, if it is a bit adverse to the government, then he will be held up. His promotion can be held up. He has to face a lot of problems. Besides, otherwise also, if he doesn't express, then also he faces some political reaction. That is different thing altogether. But if he says anything, then he has it. So I think a time when Honorable Supreme Court of India removes this particular clause that everybody, including civil servants, are also equal citizens of India, I think that will be an opportunity of betterment of the system of India. The reason is that I am feeling that if the civil servants are allowed to express themselves while in service, they have not to wait for retirement or subordination like me. Because I have been writing on the book for last almost 15 years. And I wanted to express something, but I was not able to express my ideas. And then I thought, why not compile it and put it before the people of India. So, if every civil servant gets the opportunity, my understanding is that 90% of scams will go out, will go away, will be reduced. It is only because of the secrecy around it and the high-handedness of the authority. That is why a scam flourishes. So my request will be that whenever the opportunity comes, this clause is removed from the civil services conduct rules, and then India will have by and large a scam-free environment. So I would request that people may, the very distinguished people are here. They may go through the book. They may feel that there is something which I shared. They also have feeling on the same line, but perhaps from their behalf also I have made an attempt to express myself. Thank you very much.
May I now request Honorable Mr. Justice Shiva Kirti Singh to please say a few words about the book.
इंडिया इस्लामिक कल्चरल सेंटर के प्रेसिडेंट जनाब सिराजुद्दीन कुरैशी साहब, हमारे काफ़ी पुराने acquaintance and friend Mr. Ibrahimi, other gentlemen present here. I'm very happy that at least so many people, eminent persons, interested persons are present here on this occasion, which is not a very interesting occasion, release of a book. Unfortunately, the next generation is not interested in printed materials. They want to see everything in 3 dimensions on the TV, or at least there should be some music or something in the background. So they are moving towards entertainment, and reading a book is a tedious affair. It requires a habit. So it gave me really immense pleasure that at least one book I am releasing which contains very good materials. I hope that this book reaches in the hands of next generation also. People read it and take advantage of very frank opinion about the governance and his experiences, penned by a person who has held so many important posts in the most coveted service, Indian administrative service. In our times, that used to be the prime objective of all students, first and foremost. Only thereafter they used to opt for other services. Today there are many other options, but in his time, he came first in IRS interview, then he joined, next year he came into IAS, and during that time I was entering into my legal profession. The studies in Patna were delayed, I think because of JP movement, for about 2 years. So after going through few chapters in the book, I found a lot of materials which created empathy, and I could identify my own feelings with what Dr. Ibrahimi has written here. मुझे लगा कि इसमें उन्होंने अपने experiences का जो निचोड़ दिया है, और background भी बहुत similarities थी. His father was in a transferable job, in an administrative job. He studied at Gaya, Hazaribagh, Ranchi. Those are the places I found. My father was additional district judge. I had the opportunity to study at Ranchi, Bhagalpur, then at Patna. And thereafter, he also did his law from Ranchi. I did my law from Patna. But his native place, Sila, is very close to Patna, Rajgir. And I have been there at least 25 to 30 times. I used to regularly visit that area during winter because of sulfur springs, hot water springs, which has many good qualities for remedying many diseases, particularly skin disease. So the places are, and he was the first district magistrate at a place, Seman, which is my home district. I belong to that. He has mentioned about great personalities of that place, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, Mr. Mazharul Haq, and other eminent. So they are all my neighbors. My village and their villages are almost adjacent. On one side is Dr. Rajendra Prasad, and the other side is Mazharul Haq. So everything was so vivid and clear in my mind. And thereafter, the last chapter of this book, I think chapter 6, I went through that in particular, interaction in work cultures. So after completing his assignments and central deputation, what Dr. Ibrahimi has mentioned in the last chapter, interaction and work culture. It's such a frank evaluation of his colleagues, the political